Making a great effort, Ivan Nikolaevich got up from the bench and rushed back to where he had been talking with the professor. And, fortunately, it turned out that the man had not left yet. The street lights were already lit on Bronnaya, and over the ponds the golden moon shone, and in the ever-deceptive light of the moon it seemed to Ivan Nikolaevich that he stood holding a sword, not a walking stick, under his arm. The ex-choirmaster was sitting in the very place where Ivan Nikolaevich had sat just recently. Now the busybody had perched on his nose an obviously unnecessary pince-nez, in which one lens was missing altogether and the other was cracked. This made the checkered citizen even more repulsive than he had been when he showed Berlioz the way to the rails. With a chill in his heart, Ivan approached the professor and, glancing into his face, became convinced that there were not and never had been any signs of madness in that face. "Confess, who are you?" Ivan asked in a hollow voice. The foreigner scowled, looked at the poet as if he were seeing him for the first time, and answered inimically. "No understand, no speak Russian." "The gent don't understand," the choirmaster mixed in from the bench, though no one had asked him to explain the foreigner's words. "Don't pretend," Ivan said threateningly, and felt cold in the pit of his stomach. "You spoke excellent Russian just now." "You're not a German and you're not a professor. You're a murderer and a spy." "Your papers!" Ivan cried fiercely. The mysterious professor squeamishly twisted his mouth, which was twisted to begin with, then shrugged his shoulders. "Citizen." The loathsome choirmaster butted in again. "What are you doing bothering a foreign tourist?" "For that you'll incur severe punishment." And the suspicious professor made an arrogant face, turned, and walked away from Ivan. Ivan felt himself at a loss. Breathless, he addressed the choirmaster. "Hey, citizen, help me to detain the criminal." "It's your duty." The choirmaster became extraordinarily animated, jumped up and hollered. "What criminal? Where is he? A foreign criminal?" The choirmaster's eyes sparkled gleefully. "That one?" "If he's a criminal, the first thing to do is shout, 'Help!' or else he'll get away. Come on, together now, 1, 2, and here the choirmaster opened his maw. Totally at a loss, Ivan obeyed the trickster and shouted help. But the choirmaster bluffed him and did not shout anything. Ivan's solitary, hoarse cry did not produce any good results. Two girls shied away from him, and he heard the word drunk. "Ah, so you're in with him?" Ivan cried out, waxing wroth. "What are you doing, jeering at me?" "Out of my way." Ivan dashed to the right, and so did the choirmaster. Ivan dashed to the left, and the scoundrel did the same. "Getting under my feet on purpose?" Ivan cried, turning ferocious. "I'll hand you over to the police." Ivan attempted to grab the blackguard by the sleeve, but missed and caught precisely nothing. It was as if the choirmaster fell through the earth. Ivan gasped, looked into the distance, and saw the hateful stranger. He was already at the exit to Patriarch's Lane. Moreover, he was not alone. The more than dubious choirmaster had managed to join him. But that was still not all. The third in this company proved to be a tomcat, who appeared out of nowhere, huge as a hog, black as soot or as a rook, and with a desperate cavalryman's whiskers. The trio set off down Patriarch's Lane, the cat walking on his hind legs. Ivan sped after the villains and became convinced at once that it would be very difficult to catch up with them. The trio shot down the lane in an instant and came out on Spiridonovka. No matter how Ivan quickened his pace, the distance between him and his quarry never diminished. And before the poet knew it, he emerged, after the quiet of Spiridonovka, by the Nikitsky Gate, where his situation worsened. The place was swarming with people. Besides, the gang of villains decided to apply the favorite trick of bandits here, a scattered getaway. The choirmaster, with great dexterity, bored his way onto a bus speeding towards the Arbat Square and slipped away. Having lost one of his quarries, Ivan focused his attention on the cat and saw this strange cat go up to the footboard of an A tram waiting at a stop, brazenly elbow aside a woman, who screamed, grab hold of the handrail, and even make an attempt to shove a 10-kopeck piece into the conductress's hand through the window, open on account of the stuffiness. Ivan was so struck by the cat's behavior that he froze motionless by the grocery store on the corner, and here he was struck for a second time, but much more strongly, by the conductress's behavior. As soon as she saw the cat getting into the tramcar, she shouted with a malice that even made her shake. No cats allowed. Nobody with cats allowed. Scat. Get off, or I'll call the police. Neither the conductress nor the passengers were struck by the essence of the matter, not just that a cat was boarding a tramcar, which would have been good enough, but that he was going to pay. The cat turned out to be not only a solvent but also a disciplined animal.